And let's not forget the fact that Jacob is a freaking sick individual. Yeah, we're going there. What's up, everyone? It is Epictastic Joshua here. My name is Joshua. We have cranked and finished the Twilight Saga re-review series, aside from one little movie that's a parody of it, which we'll get to. I'm having to do this because I accidentally deleted the first fully edited video. We're going to stop and rank all of the main Twilight movies from my least favorite to my favorite. So now I've gone on and reviewed all 5 movies in detail, and I've clearly said at the beginning of each video, these movies are not great movies. These are guilty pleasures. But I know how terrible these movies are. It was an easy franchise to get out of the way. Let's go ahead and rank this franchise from the worst one. There's 5 movies from 2008 to 2012, so this is going to be easy ranking, and this should be very entertaining to get through. So if you guys like what you see here, you want to see more ranking videos and more franchise reviews and such, be sure to subscribe and for more of this, because I got a lot more content. We are currently doing the Planet of the Apes franchise now, and then the Mad Max franchise coming soon. So let's put this franchise to rest until I review Vampire Suck. And easily the worst one at number 5, the lowest of the low of this whole entire fucking franchise, the Twilight Saga fucking New Moon. This was not a fun rewatch. I'll tell you, this was not fun. I said in my letterbox thing and in my review, this is 2 hours and 10 minutes of bullshit. Felt like 3 hours and 27 minutes. That's how disinteresting this movie is. From the way this movie is paced with the story, to the script being uninteresting, to characters not being as entertaining. Bella's depression was the worst part of this entire movie for me to get through, because every time we focus on this damn depression of this damn girl that she knew this vampire, Edward of course, for about a few months, every time we go to this, it's just freaking insufferable and borderline bullshit to get through. There is moments where I have to stop watching this movie when I was taking you guys through my video watching process and review watching process on Instagram. That it took a lot out of me to get through this movie. The direction was pretty good. Cinematography looks nice. I like some entertaining, dumb, fun moments. Edward getting his ass kicked, a few moments of action, some of the performances. And I like some of the new characters like Dakota Fanning and Michael Sheen. And there are some interesting things they try to do, but for anything good they try to do, it is completely outweighed by all the embarrassing bullshit that I have to sit through. Bella screaming at the top of her lungs, Edward wanting to die too, this beginning of the whole Team Edward, Team Jacob bullshit, which I don't even know why that was trending. Movie, like I said, almost little nothing good I can say except for some of the acting, some of the direction, the darker tone, the action, even some other few positives I did point out in my review. But even as a guilty pleasure, it is not enough to keep me from being bored as hell with this piece of shit. And I will only ever watch this as if I'm marathoning the series, but even then I'll be like, no. Coming in 4th place, not a whole lot better, but, well, marginally better, but still very problematic. The Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1. This, compared to New Moon, this is just a unintentionally hilarious boring, where nothing's really going on here. I sat here watching this, and honestly, I'll say this, I did enjoy it a little bit more. There was a time though I used to defend this movie and say this was not as bad as people said it was. Every single moment in this movie, which is not all that entertaining, is still pretty boring. This is the most inconsequential one of this entire franchise. Almost little to nothing happens. Bella and Edward, they get married, they have sex, they're pregnant, she dies, she has a baby, and then comes back as a vampire. And then you have this whole thing with Jacob and the wolves wanting to kill Bella and the baby because they're scared of the baby wanting to be able to control its thirst. There's interesting things they try to do here to make it interesting, but it's just not entertaining enough as it should be, because the way this character is written and the way this movie is paced, even with the 2-hour and 4-minute extended cut, is like, it doesn't matter. There's a few moments here I do like. I do like the pregnancy scene, some of the effects they do with Bella, trying to make her look frail. The werewolf stuff was cool. The wedding is beautiful. Action for what we get is cool. The last 20 minutes of this is actually some of my favorite part of this movie. It's just, it takes a lot to get through, and just so much you have to go through to get through it. But even with this, the draggy pacing and such, and a few characters acting out character and shit, some very god-awful dialogue and bad CGI, and the moment to split this into 2 parts, it just freaking borderline annoys me. And let's not forget the fact that Jacob is a freaking sick individual. Yeah, we're going there.
Seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
No! 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 You should be ashamed of yourself!
Oh my god!
Coming in third place is gonna be the original Twilight. Now, like I said, I'm a sucker for vampire movies, and like I said, this has never been a movie I've defended, of course, and never died on the hill for with this franchise. But I can enjoy the fact that this movie is, I will say that this, you can just shut your brain off. I know some of you can't, and just enjoy the stupidity of this. The characters are definitely not good. It's definitely not a great romance. The character of Bella is very awkward and socially bland and such. But I admit, I laughed my ass off rewatching this. It's definitely entertaining, it's definitely fun, and it's definitely just goofy and shit, and it knows what it is. It knows that it is not trying to be Oscar winning, but I'm not saying this movie is good. This movie still has its problems critical wise from a script standpoint. The direction character, romance is not the best. And there are some intense, stupid, what the fuck moments, like sparkling vampires. Come on now, even that is taking it a little bit too far.
And I'm not out of order. You're out of order. The whole freaking system is out of order.
I admit the script is terrible, but when you look at this as a guilty pleasure side of things, I like some of the performances. The cinematography looks fine. There's some decent production value for the small budget they had, and I love the soundtrack here. And a few action moments here, and entertainingly stupid moments that keeps this from being a borderline unbearable watch. So again, it's not great, but it's tolerable, at least. But I can definitely see why this killed vampires and werewolves for quite a while. Easily in the runner-up is going to be the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2, which would have been my number 1, but there's one little issue when it comes to this. This movie still has its problems, as all these Twilight movies do. The dialogue is not the greatest, some of the characters are not the best, some of the acting is very over the top and such, but I will say, this is the one where they definitely did have the most fun. You can tell where they did have the most fun, and the fact that they just want to make something entertaining and interesting enough. And this is definitely a step up from Breaking Dawn Part 1. I had a fun time watching this. There is some CGI effects that are not great. Some of the new characters don't get much development. Some characters that we've been with for the past gets very underutilized. And there are some pacing issues here and there. And it can get very over the top of points. But rewatching this, I just enjoyed how much fun I remember having when I first watched it. I really do like a lot some of the interesting moments. I like some of the performances here. I thought Mackenzie Foy is great in this. The soundtrack is good. That whole final battle is easily my favorite part of the movie, even though it's a fucking dream sequence. God damn it.
You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt!
The Voltoids should have been killed. All of them. But I will say, it's the most enjoyable one, besides the last one we're going to talk about. And number one, my favorite one, is going to be the Twilight Saga Eclipse. Take everything I said about all these movies. The scripts are not good, the dialogue is not good, the characters aren't the best. But this is the most enjoyable one for me because this is the one where they do have the most action. They do try to have some stakes, and all the craziness in this movie is just so fun and just stupidity. We get to get some new characters here. We got to get some fun moments here. Stupid at points. The dialogue is the cringiest. I do like some of the action scenes that they have, especially in the last couple minutes with the vampires and the werewolves teaming up to take down Victoria and her army. Bryce Dallas Howard makes for a beautiful Victoria. She is a good actress, but I do wish you kept the original actress Rachel Lefevre. And there are some ridiculous moments in terms of the performances with Riley, especially. What the hell was that performance of Riley?
What the fuck is this?
I do like the fact they do try to give some backstory to Jasper and to Rosalie and to Carlisle and such. I could have used some backstory for Emmett and such. It does have its fun moments, which makes it still my favorite of the Twilight series. None of these movies I will ever say they're great movies. I can't say they're masterpieces. I can see, again, I see why this franchise killed the vampire and werewolves for a good while until then. It does have its problems as usual, and there's just moments where you have Jacob being freaking possessive towards Bella's decision, and also the moments when you have him literally forcing himself onto kissing Bella, which that is a big no-no, and giving her ultimatums. Fuck that shit.
Say what?
But, like I said, it is the more entertaining one, despite my issues with it. And I'll take these three Twilight movies being at least so bad that they're entertaining and so stupid, I can laugh at them, over boring ass New Moon. And Jacob being a freaking creep, crushing on Renesmee, even though I've read the books and know what imprinting really means. But Eclipse is one of the better ones, and it's the most tolerable one in this franchise. Well, that's gonna do it for the video that you just watched. If you want to see more, my channel icon is up here. If you want to see more content from me, all my social medias are right here in this end card. I will also leave a playlist and a video here for you to see what the channel is about. As always, acknowledge me, stay Epictastic, join the Epictasticness, and you guys keep it cool.